really very, very strange and alien to her culture. Okay, well that's two examples of what I call the life experience journal. I think one of the great advantages of this kind of journal is that they provide an opportunity for the teacher or lecturer to have meaningful personal conversations with students. And it also gives the teacher an opportunity to comment on the grammar and style of the entries if the student so wishes. It's learning as well. Now, the lecturer-directed journals, one lecturer in particular said, I much prefer this type of journal. It's linked to the students' work that they're doing, and they reflect on what they're learning. So they're encouraged to think about their strengths and weaknesses, to be critical about their studies, and reflect on the various tasks they carry out in their studies. Often the teacher provides them with worksheets at various points while they're doing the task. Let me give you an example. Let's supposing a student is writing an extended essay in a pre-sessional course. They write a draft and then they realize that they don't really know how to write the introduction. They're not sure. They're not happy with it. So they put in their journal, I'm not sure what information to put in the introduction. I need some help with this. The teacher then will put a note in the journal, read pages 83 and 84 of Academic Writing, a Handbook for International Students by Stephen Bailey, and do exercises page 28 and 29, and then come back and we'll talk about it. By the way, well, I'm afraid this book is not a Pearson book, but I have to say it is a superb book on writing skills. Academic Writing, a Handbook for International Students by Stephen Bailey is a very, very good book. There are other books, but that is a very good book. Let me give you another example. Let's say a student says, many students said to me, well, my writing is too simple. I write short sentences. I need to have a better style. They can't write complex sentences with supporting clauses. My sentences, so they write in the diary, my sentences are too simple, I need to improve my style. Okay, so the solution, you direct them to chapter 10 of Writing Academic English by Oshima and Holm, and then the next time you meet them, you find out what they've learned from that and look at that. Okay, so these journals are good. They encourage students to reflect on what they're doing as they go through the tasks, which are very important, and I think they are a good way. You can use them across all levels, from pre-intermediate right up to advanced level. Does anyone use learner journals? Not something really you're using at the moment? Interesting. Well, maybe you should try that with your students and see how you get on. The second technique is short writing. In language leader, there are lots of opportunities for short writing tasks. They're actually written into the exploitations. But we like short writing. It provides a very nice change of pace in a classroom. And it's an excellent technique for improving students' fluency and accuracy. Short writing tasks are usually found in language leader following the two text spreads, the two input spreads with text. I'd like to give you some student samples here of short writing that they did in class, very, very quickly. In unit language leader upper intermediate, there is a topic on architecture. In the first lesson, students are asked to write a paragraph about their favorite building. Can you guess what this building is? There is an example. Anyone know what that building is in London? It's called the Gherkin. It's called the Gherkin. Yes, the Gherkin. The Gherkin. It was very controversial when it came out. Everyone hated it, and now everyone loves it, and it's the most clearly identifiable building in England. and it's massive. When you get up close to it, it's absolutely massive. It is indeed a landmark, as the student says, a symbol of London. It looks impressive and elegant, but its style is ugly. Most people call it an eyesore. It's some good vocabulary there: landmark, eyesore, and impressive. Not surprising, because earlier in the unit they learned those words, so this student has incorporated it into the short bit of writing. So I like short bits of writing. When I was teaching, I did it from time to time. It gives the teacher a bit of a rest. You can go around the class. It doesn't take up a huge amount of time. You can check very quickly, point out sort of language problems. In an activity like that, I would get students to swap descriptions when they do this sort of activity. So, each student can swap what they've written, and that can often generate a lot of discussion. Well, I've got two samples of short writing. The first is by Jamal, who is from Turkey. Look at that. Corrections. Bridge in Turkey, the longest, tallest bridge. I'm going to ask you who is the better student. All right. We're going to just have a look at that first. Can you read it? Has a wonderful lighting system and a glamorous scenery. Glamorous underlines as being not quite the right term. Okay, let's move from Jamal, who is from Turkey. We had a quick look at that. Let's have a look at the Korean student, Sue. She's actually called Sue. Palace survived until the devastating Japanese invasion, and the entire place was burned. It's an auspicious site for a palace. It was derived from an ancient Greek. Okay, who do you think is the better writer? Jamal or Sue? Turkey or Korea? Any suggestions? Yeah, the Korean is better actually. She's got a better vocabulary, hasn't she? Not quite so many mistakes. Remember, they do that very quickly. They probably did that in about 10 to 15 minutes. But I think the Korean has a more sophisticated style, better use of vocabulary. And then there's a bit of review. Notice the review at the end. So there we have it, two examples of student writing. I should also say that you can, of course, in any unit in language reading, you can decide to give them a short writing task. If there isn't one, if we haven't put one there, you can put one. I recall that in pre-intermediate, there was a lesson, pre-intermediate, I'm going down the level a bit, there was a lesson about Stephen Hawking, the brilliant scientist from Oxford who is quadriplegic, severely disabled. He even has to use a special machine to even talk. At the end of this lesson, I asked students to write a paragraph or two about a successful disabled person from their own country. They really produced some fascinating work. One student wrote about a Chinese gymnast who was paralyzed in a fall and became a well-known TV journalist. Another one wrote about a blind painter in Istanbul. And a Spanish student wrote about a Spanish person